Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Danny's Detours, where we talk about anything and everything life related. Consciousness is our canvas. Welcome back to the channel, guys. You already know the score by now. I'm out and about with my two favourite compadres in the whole wide world. We're on the scavenge hunt this morning, Paddy and Willow. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic to have you all back out on a Saturday walk and talk with me. So yeah, welcome to all the new subscribers. To all the people who have subscribed, thank you very much. If you have not gone and subscribed, go and click the button, for it is free and it does help my channel grow. But yeah, we're just starting about, just having a bit of a walk today with Paddy and Willow. Well, how's everyone getting on today? How was everyone feeling? Because there was a little bit of news that was announced yesterday, weren't there? And I'm gonna have to go into it a little bit. And it was the digital IDs. I don't know if you've been hearing this all over the news, but it's funny how they've been putting this in the news. And Mr. Keir Starmer has announced this, hasn't he, saying that in order to tackle the problem with illegal immigrants or migrants, or however you want to put it, however you want to say it, they're going to be offering a free digital ID. So, what are your thoughts on this? Because it's funny, right? I'll give you a little example. They did it with COVID, didn't they? This is what the elites do, right? They create a problem on themselves through their own money, their own back pockets, whether that be wars. Well, the last war was a viral war, weren't it? With injections, creating a thingy in a lab, a virus in a lab, which it was man-made. It's actual documentation on this. But listen, we're not going to go too much into that. And basically, it creates what you call a thingy. It creates a problem, doesn't it? And once that creates a problem, what do they offer you? They offer you a solution. And what's that solution? They offered everyone the jab. A vaccination. Oh, get the vaccination. You'll be keeping everybody safe. But they didn't share in the media what happened was basically more people died from the actual vaccination shots than actual people from COVID. So just a few things for you to think about there, guys. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, they've created the problem themselves, haven't they? They've literally created the problem by bringing all the illegal migrants in. And I've been watching as well. If you check out some of my earlier videos, I've been watching near where I live. There's a non-commercial airport, right? Blackpool Airport. And every day or every other day, there's been full commercial airliners, because the flight path, literally, you can see it from where I am now. Airliners, full commercial airliners, yeah. And they don't just fly normal commercial airliners to non-commercial airports for no reason, because it costs too much money, guys, in fuel or whatever you want to call it. So, they've been doing it for so long. They've been talking about the boats and this and that. Listen, we're not going on about racism or anything. It's not even about that. This is about the fact that there's a bigger play or a bigger plan that's going on here. And basically what it is, they're creating a problem, yeah. Flood the country in with a lot of people when there's how many homeless people are on our streets, how many veterans are out there that have fought for this country and they can't even get accommodation. They've got problems and they've no money, but yet we're letting people in from other countries to help them. Listen, I'm all for helping people and that, but you've got to look at it like this and think to yourself, there's a hidden agenda here that's at play. Where have them two gone now? Paddy! Mum! There's a hidden agenda at play here, guys, where the solution is what? oh well, we can stop this migration, which they've started themselves, which they have, because they've been flying them all in. You know what I've been saying? They've been coming in over boats. Yeah, they have been coming in on boats. They've been loading them up and putting them in, flying them into non-commercial airports. So, but anyway, so they'll offer you what? The digital ID. But then Mr. Starmer turned around and said, well, what will happen is, to anyone who doesn't hold a digital ID will no longer be able to work. So what are your thoughts on this? That's kind of like putting so many people into a corner. But the thing is though, guys, this is where we need to stand together, right? We need to stand together side by side and basically let it be known that we cannot be forced into things that we do not want. Because the minute you accept that digital ID, you're accepting slavery in a worse fashion and form for your children and grandchildren. So I say now it is time to stand up and fight. Stop being, you know, stop being scared, stop worrying about your jobs and stuff like that, because there's a bigger plan at play here, right? There's a bigger plan at play, and you are responsible for your kids and your grandkids' future. You can see how passionate I am about this, because, you know, it's nothing about, like, listen, they can go on about race. It's not even nothing to do with racism, right? This is everything to do with power and control. And what the minute you accept that digital ID, then they will start saying, oh, you need it to get your prescriptions, you'll need it to get this, and then they'll start putting more and more and more restrictions on top of you. Before you know it, you'll only be allowed to leave the country. They do it in China now, guys. Communism in China. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, this is the time for us to stand together. Because the way I look at it is, right, there's 8 billion people in this world, yeah? 8 billion people. And there's only like a few, million or a couple, I don't know, say 10 million elites. I don't know, maybe more. But there ain't that many. And I just find it fascinating how, like, you know, all these families, you know, there's like a handful of families who control the majority of the wealth while we fight. They literally control 90%, 95% of the world's wealth while we fight over the 5% of crumbs. So it's time to wake up, guys. It's time to stand up and fight. It's time to say, no, we're not doing it. Because I've already said this. I was talking about it to my wife and I said, listen, I said, not in a million years will I accept this digital ID. I said, I'm even willing to go to prison for this. Because it's to take a stand, yeah. Will they try and implement it in other ways? Yeah, of course they will. They'll try and get everyone. They'll try and do it so, like, everyone who's out there who's got mortgages and said, right, well, if you don't have your digital ID, then you won't be able to work and you won't be. That's how they're going to do it. But how brave are you? You know, how brave are you? Because at the end of the day, guys, this is bigger than your bills. This is bigger than your. If everyone if everyone stands together on this, they cannot do anything, because we are the power. Like I always say in my video, guys, right? Yeah, we're the power, yeah, not them, us. Because before we even come into this life, we are elite, pure light souls that come from the divine, yeah. But they've got us into this system of enslavement, of everything physical, and just, you know, chasing money, cars, bloody houses, and it's all a big illusion. They basically wrap slavery up in a nice little pretty parcel and go, there you go, there's a mortgage. It's like, well, think about it. You've got to go to work to pay that mortgage off, but yet you've got to pay 3 times the amount back. How is that fair? But yet when you go to a bank and you borrow that money, guess what? The money's not even there. They don't even have the money. So you're just they're basically giving you, look at it like this, right? Yeah, they're just giving you invisible money, yeah? Invisible money, and you're giving them 3 times the amount of invisible money back. So just think about it, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think we're going to leave it at that, guys, because I didn't want to go on too much. But just remember, we are the power, yeah? And together, we cannot be defeated, but we must stand side by side. But yeah, for me, Danny Detours, Paddy and Willow, I hope you have a fantastic day. Love you loads. Peace.